since its premiere, the show's been in Melbourne and New Zealand, and they'll be taking Priscilla to Canada late next year and to Sweden in early 2010. But before that, there's another Sydney season starting on the 7th of October at the Lyric Theatre at Star City, and you can book through Ticketmaster 1300 880 096. If you haven't been, you go, and if you've been, go again. I will be 1300 880 096. And then in March next year, Priscilla is going to shock the London West End. 2 of the 3 leading roles will be played by Australians. That's always a difficulty when you go to London. Jason Donovan will star in the role of Tick. He's the struggling drag queen who gets a phone call about a contract to perform a 4-week season at that dreadful Alice Springs casino. Tick, also known as Mitzi, is joined on the trip by Adam, or Felicia, who organises their means of transport, and that is a hoot, isn't it? The battered old bus, which he christens Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. And both of them are joined by Mitzi's transsexual friend Bernadette, playing that role in London, as he did with such amazing acclaim here, is Tony Sheldon. This is a hell of a story, Tony Sheldon, who made his acting debut, professional debut, at the age of 7. His mother is the great Tony Lamond, which means his aunt is the internationally acclaimed Helen Reddy. He's not too bad himself. He's right here. Good morning.
Good morning, Alan.
You can't talk about this without laughing, can you?
No, you can't. I'm just glad you didn't say I was playing the battered old bus. I thought, has it come to this?
I know. What a story yours is, though. I mean, it's unbelievable. You started, with Graham Kennedy's in Melbourne tonight?
That's right, yes. I was allowed on my 7th birthday, as a birthday treat, I was allowed to sing with Graham, and the response was so enormous from the public because there were no children on primetime television. They were, like at 5 o'clock, there was Swallows Juniors and things like that, but there were no kids on late-night TV. And I was signed by the manager of Channel 9 to a 2-year contract, and my career was launched.
How good was he, Graham Kennedy, eh?
Oh, yes, he was absolutely wonderful. Didn't like children, though, and so I had to worm my way into his heart.
Yes. Your parents, though, forcibly retired you at the age of 9.
Yes,
You said you were getting a bit up myself.
I was a bit too big for my boots, so I was sent away to learn a lesson, but it didn't last long. I came out of retirement when I was 11 to be in Oliver.
How difficult, though, is it when, your website says you were born to an Australian show business dynasty, which you were. I mean, your mother's career began at the age of 10.
That's true, but you don't know that anybody else's life is any different. I thought everybody's parents were in show business. Apparently, when I was at school, I used to go up and say, "What show is your mummy in?" Which, of course, made me hugely popular, you can imagine.
Absolutely. Talking about mummy, she's still performing. She was on a Wollongong just a couple of weeks ago.
She was. She can't be stopped. She's still been touring the show that I wrote for her last year, The Times of My Life. So, she's out there.
And you've done some work with her, haven't you, on stage together?
Yes, we've done quite a few things over the years. So we love working with each other. It's very comfortable.
And then you appeared in shows like Homicide, where your roles included what you described as teenage axe murderers.
Yes. I was always played the weird, twisted young teenage lad.
Amazing. You've been in everything.
Yes.
You'd be here for a week if we went through all of this. You said in an interview in 2004, "I've never known what's been coming my way, and I've always embraced everything." This is a good lesson to the young ones out there, by the way. Even when we're talking about buying a home or where I rent a property. Listen to what Tony said. "I've never known what's been coming my way. I've just embraced everything that comes. Take the chance." This way, he said, "I've enjoyed a much richer career than I could ever have envisaged." Some tend to fail because they're choosy.
It's true, and also I think we're now in a generation where people expect everything to come to them immediately, and I think a lot of that is the reality shows of you go on a TV show to become a pop star immediately, or you just expect fame to come your way very quickly, and I think we've lost the whole pleasure of the climb and the struggle and gaining experience, so that when fame does come to you or a wonderful role, you're prepared. You've got the stamina.
What you're doing here might seem an inconsequential step, but you never quite know where that's going to take you.
Exactly, and I'm thrilled that my first big shot at the West End is now that I'm in my 50s, because I've got the endurance, and I'm prepared if there's going to be any sort of disappointment. It's not the end of the world if it doesn't work.
Done that, you know
exactly.
It. But I say to anybody, treat this as a job interview. You don't know that you might be singing to 5 people in a pub, but you don't know that some old drunk multimillionaire's not going to walk in and say, "I've been looking for a kid like you. You come and sing for my company." You never know.
Absolutely, you never do. It's a strange and wonderful world out there.
Priscilla. They approached you, but you said, I said, absolutely not. This is what Tony said, the last thing I want to do is put on another dress because the industry has a very short memory and they only remember you for your last job, and the fact you've been playing blokes in suits for 30 years tends to be forgotten as soon as you throw on a wig and a frock.
It's true. It's true. They love to pigeonhole you here. They really do. And I just come off doing the
But
producers.
you threw on the wig and the frock.
Well, I did, but it was because I did the workshop and I suddenly thought, now, hang on, there's something I can do with this role. And I saw who Bernadette was and that she had a real heart. She wasn't a panto dame.
No.
This was a genuine, lovely lady.
Yes.
And once I sort of found the way into the character, I
think
stuck
that's
with
why
it.
people love it. You said about Priscilla, it's a really traditional story about a group of misfits who create their own family and set out to fulfil their dreams. It's not a gay show, although it's about three gay blokes and their effect on country Australia. I mean, that's the point, isn't it? It's fun in circumstances which otherwise, for all of us, wouldn't be funny. We wouldn't have the guts to do it, do we?
No, exactly. And everybody loves a road movie, where every scene brings a different set of weird characters, and all of that. And the whole thing of the fish out of water thing with people who are misfits in their own environment, and they're probably rejected by their families, and they form a unit of their own, a family of their own who will support them and love them.
What about the costumes? I mean, that is a phenomenal triumph, the costumes, for the costume makers, the costume designers. I mean, it's breathtaking, isn't it?
Absolutely, considering that the costumes did win an Oscar for the film, but they were all held together with bits of chewing gum and staples. And here they've got to be washed and worn 8 times a week. So, as you say, the costume makers are the unseen heroes of our production.
Tony says about the frocking up, putting the gear on. You once said, the foundation garments and the hats are the killer. You don't want to look as though you're tied into a straitjacket. You're supposed to look as though you're having the best time, but the costumes are so big, you're so constricted. If my mother could see me now, I'm the daughter she never had.
It's true. It's absolutely true.
People don't understand that. You must sweat it out up there, do you?
They don't. You try singing and dancing and look as though you're having a fabulous time when you've got a 12-inch waist and you're tottering around you and trying not to fall on your head.
Help me. So it's all back. You've got another Sydney season. So it starts October. It's limited, of course, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is. We've only got a couple of previews.
They're limited. A lot of people, you write to me and say, why are they limited? Well, it's the availability of theatres. That's the point.
Yep. There's other shows booked in to come in after us.
Booked in.
Yep.
So you start on October 7 at the Lyric Theatre.
That's the first previews.
Booked through Ticketmaster. Then you're off to London.
I am, yes.
And you've been over there. You were on the telly. I saw you on the telly. I mean, how did they react to all of this?
It was fantastic. We were doing a photo shoot in the streets. I sat on every black cab and stood in every phone box in town. And people would stop and see the costumes and go, oh, that's Priscilla. So suddenly we're a brand name before we've even opened. It was fantastic. The people instantly recognised it.
Just fabulous, fabulous entertainment. How long is the London season scheduled to go for?
Well, I've been asked to go over for 12 months initially, so hopefully we're in for another long haul.
You don't get that kind of work in your business, do you?
No, we don't. I'm very appreciative of it.
Absolutely. Tony, congratulations. It's been a wonderful career and hasn't even started. Lot more chapters to be written.
One would hope.
Love to your mum.
Yes, I will
often
definitely
talk to
pass
here.
that on.
And Tony Sheldon, Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, the musical opens in the Lyric Theatre. As I said, if you've seen it, you'll want to see it again. If you've not seen it, you've got to go. Book through Ticketmaster, 1300 880 096. Not far away, October 7, 1300 880 096. I just laugh thinking of it. It's just a phenomenal night out, no matter how you go. And the public just gets so involved. That's the nice thing. You're sitting in the theatre and everyone around you gets involved. They stand up, they cheer, they whistle, they do the lot. And on stage, everyone's half laughing at themselves.